I can't sleep, so let's talk about what a piece of shit Diddy is. It's like 4:30 in the morning, so it's gonna be all over the place. If you have not already watched Sean Combs' The Reckoning on Netflix, I highly recommend watching it. Most of it I already knew, but there are some things I did not know. Some things kind of made me, put whatever. I actually did not know about the CCNY trampling incident, but it's kind of crazy because like that happened it was what, December 28th, 1991. No, 92, I'm sorry. 9 people died from like this event that he had put together. And then a few years later, whenever like Bad Boy was being established, like, bro, like you intentionally put it in like other people's names so that these families couldn't like get the money that they had came after you civilly for. And I ended up looking like there are cases that were settled and they got their money, but that was like number one. I'm like, oh, so you've just been a piece of shit. But what's crazy is the first civil suit, like sexual assault suit that was being brought against him when this all got announced like last year was from 1991. And it was like 9-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, same type of school age kids where like these type of events were being hosted. Who knows if, I'm not saying it's connected, just then what else? Biggie, like he had Biggie's estate pay for, like he went around saying like, oh, I'm gonna make sure my man has like the biggest funeral ever, but then like Biggie essentially paid for his own funeral. And then like posthumously had him, like the contract changed. He had just got a new contract, like had the middle of it changed to where his estate got less money than what they would have, after him dying. What else? I feel like that, like what he did with like Craig Mack, not taking care of his artists, what he did with many other artists, like inserting himself in the videos and the songs, all of that, only to then pay himself. So then these artists and everything between like studio time, videos, music, all of that, they owed him money. And so it was like very strategic on his end. So then they, had no way to even like make ends meet. What else? Oh, the one thing I was thinking of was like, right before, again, alleged, just my thoughts, right before Biggie died was whenever Puff's album was about to come out, because right after he died was when it did come out, and it ended up being super successful. That's whenever Puff took off, all that, right? Not saying, it's kind of weird how these things line up. Like somebody, and we have seen and heard this tale as old as time throughout Hollywood, where like there's like the sacrificial lamb, right? And then that person ends up becoming super successful. Like they had to sell their soul in exchange for the fame or whatever. Then there's like the information, which I've talked a lot about, the whole like Keefe D, Tupac stuff, all of that on here. And I genuinely wonder if there will ever be any sort of like accountability or proof that shows Puff's involvement in the murder of Tupac. That would be craziness, because I definitely believe that. Seeing like his kids' involvement in certain stuff, like, so if you see like his mom very much like had him be kind of like that dandy slash performative from a very young age, having his friends over, all of that. So then fast forward, these parties, the whatever, like his whole life is a performance. Everything is a performance. Everything is a stage. And like now you've got your kids wrapped up in this, doing the same things that you've been doing. Like it's just like monster creating the monster, creating the monster. And it's just like he has now groomed them, and I hope not. Like I hope they don't, but there was a lot talked about like at least one of his sons being involved in some of these like freak offs. And let's see, my sister and I were talking about some of this stuff. Oh, like you keep going after your friends women, like, or like other powerful men's women. I don't know, like it's all just very, he has very weird behavior, all very weird behavior. The man is the devil incarnate, which I have thought this for a while, like what he did with Shine, like the whole gun case whenever he was with J-Lo. And like, yeah, Shine had to take the rap for that. He didn't even get effective counsel because of, you know, how that whole thing went down. Like that was messed up. I don't know. I wish that there was more accountability that could be done. Like even like with this case, the jurors that were like interviewed, it makes me very curious what how the other jurors felt, because it was infuriating listening to the two jurors speak. Like the one guy, to me it was just kind of like, oh yeah, modern day love tale, dragging a girl by her hair to like down up. No, it's not. And then like I felt like the other girl like couldn't get past like the whole fandom of it. I don't know. I know that I'm rambling. I'm half awake. But the Diddy in himself, whatever, I should say it, like I said, he's the devil, but I don't I don't get it. Like I don't know how he is still going to just be walking around, and he's going to feel even more empowered because he essentially just got like the token sentence, like this is what we have to do, right? What do you guys think? If you watched it, I need to know your thoughts because it just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. And I know that there are victims from the families of that original like CCNY trampling incident who have said like this is all his karma. Like those 9 lives that were lost during this, and he like tried to dodge accountability and has never even taken fault. He blamed it on, you know, police response, all of that. Like this is karma. But I don't know. I don't think he will ever truly take accountability ever for anything. But like I do firmly believe that karma is not always swift, but it's always on time. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.